Are recording. Hello and welcome to the February monthly meeting for our team, hashtag Scent 365 Tribe. So, as you guys know by now, the focus this month is on sponsoring. So, that's what we're going to be covering today in our monthly meeting here. So, that focus is going to be on sponsoring, and we're going to make sure that we cover a lot. So I'm going to try and get through this um, as best as I can. So hopefully you guys are going to find a lot of value in this. Um, Obviously, sponsoring is one of the main pieces of your business. And because it's so important, it needs to be a priority every single month. I have to tell you that you have to start setting yourself goals if you don't already when it comes to sponsoring. And one thing that I like to do is I like to set myself for 3 goals every single month. So a PRV goal, a sponsoring goal, and then being paid a title. So, of course, once you are at a lead consultant or above, being paid at title is something that you really, really want to make sure that you're getting every single month. So it should, in my opinion, be one of the 3 things that you have set as a goal for yourself for the month. So making sponsoring a piece of those goals, those 3 goals that you set, is going to help push you. Now, I personally, and I know a lot of other consultants do the same, I aim for 2 sponsoring of team members every single month. I said that completely weird, I know. Let me rephrase that. So my goal is to sponsor 2 team members every single month. Um, does that always happen? No, but that is always my goal. That is always my goal. The same thing with PRV. My PRV goal every single month is 2,000 because that is the monthly sales award. That's how I can maximize my commission, right? Because when you hit 2,000 or more in PRV, you get that additional 5% in commission. So, hello, 30% commission is awesome. Um, Regardless of where you're at, what title you're at, or anything. Those are the two pieces that will help you get paid a title. Being paid a title, of course, is going to be determined on where you're at. But again, consistency is, of course, key. And so, as we're being more consistent, as we are working our business in the same manner every single month, before you even think about it, you are actually already doing all the things that you need to do to promote to whether it's superstar consultant, director, star director, superstar director, right? So we're putting ourselves in the mindset of that's where we're going to be and that's what we're going to do. So the foundation in your business is built by your team and it needs attention. That foundation has to be wide. So when we talk about having a wide front line, that means, again, why sponsoring is one of the number 1 priorities every single month, because you want to make sure that your foundation for your business is going to help sustain you as you grow and as your team grows. Because the one thing you don't want to happen is to have your team outgrow you. And that can happen. Doesn't mean that it will, but it can. But again, that's why we put our focus on those 3 things, right? We set those 3 goals every single month. So you have to make time for sponsoring because it's going to be the heartbeat of your business. And as with anything, I know all of us are busy, right? We all have stuff going on, but if it's important to you or to your business, you make time for it. And so that's what we have to do is just time. And we have to be able to make sure that we're giving enough time in order to have the opportunity to hit those goals every single month. So we're going to talk about having a plan, and I'm going to focus more on social media simply because, hello, this is the world that we live in right now. But honestly, I feel that it is the easiest. And maybe it's just me, maybe that's just how I am, but I feel that social media is really how I can sponsor the best. So when we talk about social media marketing, I really want you guys to take the word recruitment out of your vocabulary. I personally despise the word recruit because when I think of recruit, it's like numbers, right? Like I don't know, it's just it's all about numbers. And to me, this business is not necessarily about numbers. It's about people and relationships. And that's really where we want our focus to be. So if we kind of use whatever term you want, but take the word recruitment out of it because it just can come off very icky and we don't want to come off icky. Um, and for people who don't know us within Scentsy, they're like, oh, well, you're just trying to get people to join. Well, yes, I always want people to join, but it's not because I get paid just because somebody joined my team today, right? Like that's not how it works. And for some people, it can give that perception. So that's another reason that I absolutely despise that word. And because perception is everything. So on social media, sharing the Scentsy life is something that works really well. The reason why is because sharing on social media is the perfect way to show how you integrate your business into your life. So remember, your life is what you should be building your business around. That's really one of the things that I love the most about Scentsy is that it does not have to be, oh my gosh, I have to, figure out how to fit Scentsy um, front and center of everything above my family, or I can't go to family functions, or I can't do this, or I can't do the things that I like to do because, oh, I've got a Scentsy business to run. That's not how we work, right? We work our business around our lives, and being able to share that and show that on social media is a really fabulous recruiting tool. Gosh, I just said the word recruiting. But the point is being able to show and share how that's not how it necessarily is, right? So if you're a mom with younger kids, if you're taking care of parents or family members, or if you yourself have issues and mobility issues, things like that, right? It's not necessarily like that's why I can't work my business, right? I can't be successful with Scentsy because I have all this stuff going on, and maybe you've got the full-time job and everything else, right? Opposite, complete opposite. And some people, again, perception is a very big thing, especially on social media, right? So we want people to understand, and the best way to help them understand that that's not how we work is to show them how you're working your business. And I've taken many times when I have, I don't know if I necessarily, I mean, sometimes I probably show it in my feed on Instagram because Instagram's kind of where I live, but I use stories a lot to be able to capture a lot of that and share a lot of that. And that's because I think that it's more of a behind the scenes look, but I've gone to multiple doctor's appointments and everything else for myself over the years. And one of the things that I always will share in stories or whatever is when I'm in a waiting room, like I usually have my iPad everywhere I go, but even if it's your phone, right? You can share a picture of how you're waiting in the waiting room, right, for your appointment, but maybe you're checking your email or doing this. Not saying that that's taking a priority. It's just, again, sharing a snapshot of how you're working your business around your life, right? So that was one way that I've always used whenever I have an appointment somewhere is, yeah, I've got an appointment, but while I'm waiting, I'm going to send out an email, right? It's simple, it's quick, it's fun. And again, it's showing them the perception of this isn't an all consuming thing, right? Like, I don't have to, even though this is my full time job, I don't have to dedicate a solid 8 hours Monday through Friday to Scentsy in order to be successful. It's not it, right? We work smarter, not harder. So it's a perfect platform on social media to share the lifestyle. And when you're sharing the lifestyle, it opens up great ways to connect and build relationships, and that has the most favorable outcome of becoming a great sponsor, because just like you, your team members are going to have life. They have life too. They have things that come up. They have things going on. They're busy as well. And if they see that you, as their sponsor, are also busy and working your business into your life, right? When you've got 5, 10 minutes here, 5, 10 minutes there. I can't even tell you how many times I've been cooking dinner and had my pad or my phone up and had a YouTube training going while I'm cooking dinner. I mean, honestly, like there's little ways that you can do it. Just because I may not have time to sit down and dedicate to like a whole hour of personal development, which I'd love to do every single day, right? But we've got life. And to be able to still work in pieces of that while I'm working my life, why not, right? My husband does the same thing, watching Facebook videos all day long. And it's like, I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many other things that he could be doing right now. But this is how he chooses to do it, right? That's fine. That's him. He doesn't have a Scentsy business. So I do. And so when I have those moments, that's what I'm doing. And when I'm scrolling Pinterest, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for inspiration. Yeah, I might also spend some time on Pinterest, but I'm looking for inspiration, honestly, at the end of the day, for either stylization for my products and what pictures I want to show, seeing what other people are posting, seeing what's popular, right? Like, are people trying to decorate a mantle on a fireplace this week? Are people trying to, do spring cleaning right now? Hello, we got a whole clean line, right? So that's where I would kind of turn my focus with my marketing. Same thing when it comes to sponsoring. So when you see people talking about, they wish that they could take a vacation on spring break with the kids. Hey, I got a great opportunity over here where you can earn some money that every year you can save up and go on a spring break vacation with your family. Interested? Right? Like, so there's ways to do that. Um, Another thing with having a plan is a plan about conversations. A question that I want you to ask yourself is, how often are you having conversations every week or every month? And don't tell me, tell yourself. So be introspective in this piece. So how are you, or how often are you having conversations? And when I say conversations, remember, it can be text, it can be email, it can be in face, whatever. I find personally, in order again to make it be a priority, to make it be a focus for my business, is if I plan one day a week to focus on sponsoring. So, what that looks like is following up on conversations, reaching out to new contacts, dialing in my marketing, right? Again, looking for those cues. What are other people posting about? What are the trends right now? What are people talking and showing on Pinterest? What are they talking and showing on Instagram? What are they talking and showing on Facebook, right? Those are the things that I want to dial into and go, okay, this is what everybody's talking about right now. How can I fit my business, either the opportunity and or marketing my products, into what is already happening, right? Same thing that we integrate business into our life. We're going to really pour our business into what is happening out there in the social media world. And I plan time for focusing on sponsoring. So I use the Amy app for follow-ups, but obviously not just for my customers. I use it for team. I also use it for people who I've either had the conversation, or maybe I've talked to about, or maybe I've planted a seed, or somebody that I see. Like, I've got 2 people on my radar right now that are current customers that I'm like, I see them every single month spending X amount of money on Scentsy. I need to make sure that I'm having a conversation with them, because while I love them being great customers, right? I also am seeing the value in, oh my gosh, they could be making money on what they're buying every single month, right? So I need to be proactive in that conversation, because as Tracy has always taught me, is that if you're not asking somebody to join your team, somebody else will. And so I at least want to make sure that I'm letting them know there is an opportunity. Are they always going to say yes? No. Are they always going to say no? No. So either way, you've planted the seed. You've seen that especially when it comes to your customer base, right? You see that they're obviously they love the product if they're continuously buying on a consistent basis, whether that's every month, every other month, every 3 months, whatever. But there's also an interest in money, right? Like we talked about this, or I talked about this in the Tuesday training video, right? So money talks, right? At the end of the day, if they would be interested in just earning commission on what they're purchasing, that's a win-win for them. It's a win-win for us, right? Does that mean that they're gonna, join our team and be our next rock star and we're gonna move to director and star director and superstar director because they joined? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, you're still offering the opportunity, you're still building your team, and who knows? I see people post this a lot about the whole, they call them the kidnappers, right? The people who join just to get the kit. I think that that's absolutely ridiculous because honestly, why do they want testers and a pack of catalogs and order forms and host and join brochures when they could just spend the money, the same amount of money on product? I don't understand that, but whatever. I see people talk about kidnappers all the time, and I see people that will say that they're frustrated. Oh, I don't understand. They joined, but they don't want to do anything with it. Okay, well, maybe they joined because they simply just want to get paid on what Scentsy they want to buy, right? They may not want this to be a business. But just because that's how they are today doesn't mean in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year from now, that they're going to change that mindset or their life changes and they're like, hey, I would like to invest some more time into this. I see Scentsy growing continuously, always bringing out new products, partnering up with new licensing, right? With our Disney, with Marvel, with Star Wars, with all the things, NFL, right? NHL. We have the goods that people want and they see that this is a growing company. And if they are just that hobbyist, then they may decide at some point to take this to the next level. I certainly did. I never saw myself doing this. So it's a great way to be able to do that. And that kind of segues my own self into arrows out. Remember, our arrows out or our arrows in perspective, right? So arrows in is how does this affect me? How is this going to benefit me? What am I going to get out of it if somebody joins my team? We have to scrub that away, right? We have to scrub it away. We can't always be arrows in. We have to be more arrows out. So being able to look at sponsoring from that perspective of arrows out is how can the opportunity bless someone else's life or help someone else is really where you want to focus, right? How can I, and again, maybe that's looking at your customers. Maybe that's having conversations with people who follow you on social media. Maybe that's your neighbor next door who you see struggling every month to get groceries and things like that. Hey, I have an opportunity here, right? Being able to offer that rather than feeling like you're selling the opportunity, because that's how I felt for years when it came to sponsoring. I never wanted to ask anybody because I was like, oh, that feels icky. I don't want to feel like a salesman. I don't want to feel like, like, oh, they're going to be like, oh gosh, she's going to ask me to join again. Every time I talk to her, she's probably going to ask me to join. So I'm not going to talk to her anymore. Right. And so I didn't actually do any of those conversations because I was, ugh. I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm selling. So I had to flip that perspective. And so by doing that, it's showing people how the opportunity can honestly change their life or how it can give them an opportunity to give more into their family or into making that car payment or into getting that new car that their family really needs or helping with the groceries, right? Times are tough. They're always going to be tough. And for years, way before the 2020 ever happened, right, people were looking for ways to bring more income into the house. And I know that for Justin and I, for years, we struggled paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to almost paycheck, right? And we struggled. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just wish there was a way, but I don't have the time to work another part-time job. And that's ridiculous to only go find a part-time job that's going to pay me $10 an hour when really it's going to consume my whole life and I'm really not going to make money. spend a whole lot of time going there, right? Scentsy was that way to do that, to bring in that income without me having to leave the family, make time for it, take away time from my family, right? I was integrating the business into my life, pulling it all in. So showing people that perspective rather than selling them the perspective of the opportunity is going to work a lot better. It's going to help you be more arrows out. And it's also going to help you feel more comfortable in having those conversations because the conversation just doesn't have to be about arrows in, right? Like, oh, this is really going to help me because I'm working on an incentive right now, right? That's arrows in. Arrows out is this is going to help you and your family, or this is going to help you save that money for that college fund, or this is going to help you do X, Y, and Z. And I see you struggling and I want to help you. This has helped me. I want to help you, right? That's arrows out. And so honestly, it's the best way to work your business is finding how to serve others, right? That can go not only for sponsoring, but it can go to our customers, right? We all do our happy mail and our thank yous and our follow-ups and things like that, right? That's all serving. And so we really have to make sure that our servant mindset is not just with sales and thank yous and happy mail, but also for sponsoring. How can I serve somebody else? How can I give them the opportunity that I've had, that it's impacted me? How can I help someone duplicate that? All right, so now I'm going to give you some action. As Mel Robbins famously has said and written, now it's time to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. Right? And that's what you have to do. You have to do the countdown. You have to do it. So, sponsoring is a great way to continue to build your business, and it needs to happen. One thing that I'm going to tell you for an action is sponsoring. When it comes to sponsoring, is to share your story. You can create or you can use all the, excuse me, host and join brochures. You can create the greatest things. Honestly, your story is the most powerful tool that you're going to have in your business tool belt. And it doesn't have to be this miraculous story, right? I thought for a long time, like, oh, my story is not fancy by any means. Like, nobody cares about my story. I didn't have any, huge, moment that happened and everything else. But I soon realized that my story was just like everybody else, right? Just trying to figure out how I can help my family. How can I do a little bit more to help my family? And so being able to use your story is going to be very powerful because people can connect with your story. And here's the other brainchild of this is that your story is yours. It's not hers, it's not his, it's not theirs, it's not anybody else's, it is yours. You own that story because that's you. That's what you've gone through. That's how you learned how to make that extra money. That's how you learned to help your family. That's how you learn to earn that incentive, right? Whatever your story is, it's important and it's powerful. And that's what people are going to connect with. Social media is the best, one of the, not the best, but one of the best ways to be able to share that. So being authentic, right? Being authentic, we have to be us, and sharing your story. So on social media, make it a plan to at least once a week share either a piece of your story or a way you're working your business or maybe something that's you were able to do because of your Scentsy business, right? And gonna put the disclaimer there, whenever you talk about income, you have to also show the income disclosure, all right? So whenever you're talking income, you got to do the income disclosure. I save mine in the notes section on my phone. So all I do is copy, paste. I don't have to go and look for it somewhere, whatever, right? I just literally copy and paste from the notes app on my phone. That's what I do. But you do have to do that. But you can talk about it all you want. Just put the income disclosure. But make it a point to one day a week, share one post. just one. And again, it doesn't have to be join me today. It can be, this is what I was able to get a new vacuum last month from my Scentsy commission. And I'm so grateful for that. Income disclosure, right? But just being able to share those things. And you can do it even within your stories, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, even on Pinterest, right? You can share a little bit of that behind the scenes. You can share maybe, how it, have you guys seen the trend of how it started and how it's going now, right? How they do like the 2 pictures of whatever it is. Do that with you and you, or you and your Scentsy business, or you like your old couch and your new couch. Because since you've been with Scentsy, maybe you bought a new couch, whatever, right? This is how it started. This is how it's going. Maybe do a fun comparison post like that. But finding ways to integrate that at least once a week is going to help you plant those seeds. So make a plan in your social media to focus on that. Create a flyer to add into all of your correspondence. Share ways that Scentsy has maybe blessed your life. Maybe share things that you love being a consultant, right? Maybe that's the, getting to see the new products before they're released, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's smelling the new scent every single month. You get so excited. That's your thing. That's where you love, the consultant perk, right? Is getting that scent of the month kit. Awesome. I love my fragrance and I get to get it early every single month because I'm a consultant and that's how I live, right? So sharing that. But finding and creating a flyer to share in all of your correspondence, whenever you're doing that happy mail, whenever you're doing those thank yous, anything like that, it needs to go out. And I know that Kimber has done great work on Canva with this. You can use Canva, you can do whatever. I actually made mine on Over, and it's just this little bitty flyer here. And it just says, best sponsor ever. Not really, but I mean, whatever. Why should you join me right now? Our new catalog is the bomb. Duh. Everybody loves these scents. Well, everybody loves at least some of them, right? There's no better time than today. Honest. Fun product launches, friends, and incentives. That's it, right? Like I didn't talk about how I'm living $1 million lifestyle, right? And then my name, my phone number, my website, right? That's it. That's it. And I print on regular paper, right? Y'all know me. I like to keep it light and airy when I'm sending stuff out, right? Because it's cheaper to mail that way. But I print that out and it goes in every single thank you mail. Every single, even when I'm sending out my monthly felt samples for the scent of the month, right? It goes in there. It goes in there every single time I pack up an order. Every single time I send anything out, that goes in there. I'm always making sure that they're realizing there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. So I'm dropping those seeds, sharing snippets of behind the scenes of how you work your business. Again, this is the stories feature. It's a great way to utilize to share the parts that you love about your business, share the way that you work, and kind of a fun way to kind of pull back the curtain on your life, right? So people will see, especially in your social media, right, that you do Scentsy, that you love Scentsy, whatever, right? But if you're able to get into your stories a little bit more, even if it's, a 5-second thing on your stories of either taking a picture or doing a quick video of maybe, making a sample or typing an email, right? Whatever it is, just share a little bit, share a piece, share a snippet. Pull the curtain back for a second and let them see this is not rocket science, what we're doing over here, right? It's not. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not doing anything, oh my gosh, I could never do that in a million years. They totally could, right? Half of my business is spent working it from my phone or from my tablet on the couch in my living room. Do I need to have an office space? No. Do I like having an office space? Yes, but I don't need that. For years, I worked it on my couch in the corner of the kitchen table. Okay. I worked it in the corner of my bedroom for like 4 years, literally on that desk over there. That was my Scentsy area. That was it. That's all I had. That was it. They can do this. They don't need everything to be able to work this business. And that's what you have to show them, because again, their perspective. And if, especially those who have had experiences with other direct sales companies, I don't know the ins and outs of all of them, but I have heard snippets from them. And I know that there are some that require inventory on hand or require you to do certain things or require you to be certain places, whatever. That's not us. You want to have inventory on hand, have some inventory on hand. You don't have to. This is a direct sales business. And again, even though I don't do big shows, I always like to keep some bars on hand, some product on hand, because for one, I'm making samples. And for two, I do like to have it for like host gifts and things like that. But am I spending my money on my Scentsy? No, I'm usually using host rewards from parties I'm closing, things like that. And that's how I'm building my inventory more organically. I'm not just shoving, well, I mean, sometimes when there's an LTO, I will just give Scentsy my money, but I'm really not just shoveling my money at Scentsy just so I can be a consultant. That's not what I do. That may be their experience in another company or with another company. So you want to show them that's not us. That's not how we do things. You want to do it? Great. You don't have to. And you can still be just as successful without anything. Without anything. Is the starter kit great? Yes, especially for those who want to do it as a business, right? Those who are doing it as a hobby, they don't really need that full kit, right? That's why that earn a kit option is amazing for people who just want to do this as a hobby, just want to maybe try it out. Maybe, oh, okay, I'll try, I'll see if it works for me, right? That earn a kit is the perfect opportunity. And especially if they host a party, then hello, they can even get it for 0 to no money out of pocket, right? So those are the ways that you want to have those conversations with those people. Don't make them spend their money if they just want to join to try and see if it's going to work for them, or they want to join because they don't know if they're going to be good enough, whatever, right? But if they're all in on this business, they're going to want that full starter kit. They just are, because it's going to give them all those things, and that's going to be beneficial to them. But you really have to tailor it. And that's where having conversations with people who are interested is going to help you tailor it and kind of know who needs what and what is really going to help with that. Have you used the text campaign on Visly yet? I have not. It is on my to-do list. It is on my to-do list. I do use Amy for a lot of my texting, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I've also re-downloaded Scentsy, and they have a whole lot of templates on there. And I gotta work through that. But there are some great ways on Visly to do the text campaign. I know. I just haven't personally done it. And on why is that so hard for me to say? Scentsy. Scentsy. And yeah, question about the Ernicate. Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going to unmute myself real quick because it'll be easier to ask it than try to type a novel.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my question. In a lot of the leadership stuff I'm in, they're like, never let a party close without giving away the kit. And what I mean by giving away the kit is, once it becomes available, even if it's like somebody else hosting, let's say that Lisa was my host. And if Lisa didn't want it, they say, offer it to somebody else in her party and have them pay for it. But if you do that, my question is, I know that you normally have to change the host and the party. So do you know how the host gets the rewards and the person would get the kit? Because that's what I'm worried about, because I have 2 parties right now that I think I'll have kits available with the way it looks. And so I want to make sure that I understand how to do that.
Excellent question. So yes, so the first thing, and there's that FAQ document and little like snippet training video in the training center too, for those who are going to watch on the replay. But all you have to do is, once you hit that 200 minimum qualifying party, right? If it's not the host, and maybe, Lisa didn't want it, and you're like, hey, I'm going to ask some of your people if they're interested. All you have to do is then you would go back into your party details, change the host to whoever else it is, that new person, make them the host. And then you'll go into the host cart And if you want to apply the product credit, because remember you can use that product credit, then you would click on product credit and then type in, I think what I've done is exclusive or kit or something. Anyway, type in a few words, right? And it'll pop it up. And then if you're on product credit, it's going to apply whatever product credit is available. It would take it, if Lisa was still the host, it would take her product credit. So you don't want to do that unless that host is either okay with giving that away or that really is the host, right? That's how the product credit brings that $59 price down. But if you don't want to use the product credit, which even if Lisa as the host decides to join too, she doesn't have to use the product credit every single time. So you would just go to the host cart and then type in exclusive or kit or whatever. It'll pop that option up there. It will then, and then once you add it to the cart, that's when it automatically sends them their email. So 2 things you got to do is make that person the host and also verify their email. That's very important. I've had 2 or 3 team members that have had some issues where they're like, oh crap, I put in the wrong last name, or oh crap, I got the email address wrong. They never got the email. Jacqui never sent them an email. I'm like, okay, well, check those things first. Because that's usually one of the reasons why they didn't get an email. But make sure those are right. That'll send them the email. They will then complete that email. So it's basically the join and going through the Scentsy standards. I agree to do this, blah, 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 right? Hello, I'm a consultant, boom. Then you'll get an email as the sponsor saying so-and-so has joined your team. Then what you can do is go back into the party, because you can keep that party, the party's still open, right? So you go back into the party, change the host back to Lisa or whoever it is, right? And then close the party as normal. Add those, have them select their free Scentsy with their product credit, have them select their half price items, and then close the party just as normal. And that's how a lot of people will also use it as the rolling party. And that's what I personally do. Every time I have an individual order, I just chunk it into that generic party link that I've got going on my website every single month. And then whenever I have somebody who's interested, that's when I'm like, hey, I got one ready. I'm ready to go. Let's go. And so it's there, and I don't have to close that party out until I'm ready to close it. They can still join at any time. I don't have to close the party at the same time. So hopefully that helped. So yes, so the person joining, did I answer that for you, Lisa, already? Because yeah, the person joining, they can either use the product credit that they earn from the party or not. If they don't, it's that $59 host exclusive join kit price. If they do, if it's just a $200 party, that's $20 in product credit. It's now a $39 kit, $39 to join. And they've used their product credit, but they sell their half price rewards they can use, and that perpetual party reward as well. So that's kind of a good way to balance it. So great questions. Great questions. All right, so we're gonna sponsor away. We're gonna try and focus on sponsoring. Like I said, utilize your stories, utilize your social media, plant those little seeds out there, just put them out there. And remember to make time for conversations. Make time for those conversations. And feel free to be able to answer those conversations. And always remember, guys, the Facebook group for Scent 365, it's not for me. It's not for you either. It's for everybody, right? So if you have somebody who's interested, wants to peel back the curtain, feel free to add them to the group and be like, hey, you want to take a peek? Let me add you to the group. See what we're all about. See how we do things. See if you're interested. Now, all I ask is if they aren't interested, make sure to take them back out. But if that works for them or helps them get a better idea of how we work our business, boom, it's a win-win. So just so you have another tool in the tool belt to use for sponsoring. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.